Now this time, last time what we did, we use a standard controller. Last time what we did, we use a standard controller plus extensions, right? Standard controller plus extension, right?
Yes.
Now today I'll not gonna use standard controller, I'll use controller. We can use standard controller and extension, no doubt, but in this case I'm just showing how to use controller alone. Account, contact, creation, contact, wizard. I'm using a class name called account contact create wizard. Okay, say create a public class. Fine, everything is fine, looking good. Now if I want to save account, what I need, I will be needed my what? Public account ACC, right? I need one variable to set. Clear? Okay, fine. And we discuss whenever page load, the default constructor will load first. The standard controller constructor will load first, right? But in case of only controller, which one will load first? Default constructor will load. I mean public account contact wizard. This will be the constructor and it will load for very first time, and it will load very first time whenever page loads in the system. New account. All we know, we need to use Apex form, Apex page block, Apex page block section, right?
Yep.
Title, account details. Title, information. Now let's see, we'll see Apex. Apex input field, Apex input field, value ACC dot name. Now here we are getting, let's say tab style equal to contact. Here we are getting this drop down. How to stop this drop down? I don't want to see this one. I don't want to get this collapsible. So we have a command tag called collapsible. Collapsible false. That's not an error. And I will say sidebar equal to false. Now we had account name, but I don't want to see is a account name. I wanted to see is a company. I wanted to see account name. Instead of account name, I need to see a value called company. How we can do that? We have a tag called label. So we can override the standard field label to some custom user interactive names at a VF pages company name. We got it?
Yeah. One doubt.
Yeah.
This value equals in that bracket is called what?
Expression.
Bracket and exclamation.
Expression.
Expression. Okay. In that expression bracket, ACC is coming from where?
Controller.
Okay.
We defined here, right? One ACC variable.
Okay. And you were telling in this controller,
yeah,
default constructor will be called first.
Yeah, whenever this page loads means if I just loaded this page, now construct this will load for the first time. I'll show you.
In standard controller?
In standard controller, the default, the standard page controller, Apex page, standard controller, this will load first.
Okay, a parameterized constructor which has standard controller parameter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you can see if I say name to understand whether this is loading or not. Deepak. Save. You will get Deepak directly. Right? This is the first method. This is the first one to load when the page loads.
Page loads. Okay.
So whatever you wanted to
Now,
assign, like before, whenever page loads, if you want to get some information, everything need to be mentioned within the constructor.
no, no save or just page load is fine. No calls, nothing.
Page layout is fine means.
Means when we load this, when we run this URL, just no need to call any function here, nothing, right?
No, nothing call. Just load by says Visual Force itself will handle this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to mention explicitly. Or if you want to mention like public void account details. Let's say account details. By default, I wanted to see saying that acc.name equal to Deepak. Now I am not mentioning Deepak, I am saving. So you don't see any value. But I wanted to load this method explicitly. At a page level, you have a action. At a page level, you have an action saying that to load accounts. Now you got it, right? You can mention any one of the method to call from when page loads. Other than the constructor, if you want to load anything, you can do from action. Clear? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
I was talking on mute. Uh, this in this action we are calling one method, right? This
Yes.
account details is one method which you mentioned.
Exactly.
Acc.name equals Deepak is assigned. Deepak is assigned to name in this method.
Yeah.
Again, if I am calling one more method inside this method where I set label.
Label you can't set, right? Label is this one. Okay, if you want to set label, in that case, you need to define a string. Public string acc name.
Okay.
Then you need to define get set. And then acc name equal to company and then
I want to call one more method inside this.
You can call a number of methods.
That meaning in action I am calling only one method, but it is indirectly again calling. That is possible.
That is possible, right? So
Okay.
label set. So consider that what you are saying, you are trying to set a label from another method, and you will invoke this from label set, right? You got it? Label. Okay, now I didn't update it there. Let me update even. So instead of label, I can use my formula expression.
If I don't use this label attribute itself,
then it will come normally. You can't override, right? It will come first name only, account name only. If you want to override,
there in that function, in that method, label set method.
Label set method is just a string for Apex class. Technically, this is not doing anything Visual Force. You need to reference this value. Then only you can override, right?
Which value? Sorry.
ACC name is nothing but my account name, right? What could be the display output? So for a label, I need to say that, hey, this is the name you need to display. If it is not there, then how it will be displayed? We need a label tag to override, no doubt.
Okay. This attribute is needed here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So other than Apex class will never know that what it is trying to do from VF, Apex class to VF page. If you mention anything and you can reference those variables, it will override. Company. Now the other way of doing is that we have Apex page block section item. We have another thing called page block section item. We have Apex output label. Let's say parent account. Apex input field value sec dot parent id. You got parent account, right? If I change anything here, it will update. You got it? So let's suppose if I don't have this label defined, what happens? What I will get? If I don't have this label defined, what I will get?
Parent ID.
I'll not get anything. Page block section item will not display the label of a field, input field.
Okay.
So you have to mention your label explicitly. See, it is not allowing label, right, within the page block section item. Label I provided, but it is not coming. So label is the parameter which is disabled for Apex page block section item. If you want to mention anything, it should be within the Apex output labels. Output label, parent, account.
Why do we use this? For me, it seems same. This line 6 to line 9, right?
Yeah.
Line 9 and line 5.
For you, it's same. I'm giving an option. There are ways to do. It's up to your choice that whatever you wanted to use.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Both
say
have same functionality, and is there any efficiency or any?
okay. Let's say I wanted to change the style of this label.
Okay.
I wanted to change the style of this label. I can't update style for the label, right? Directly.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Style in the sense text.
Class out label is my class. Out lab is my class. So all I will define my CSS style.
Okay, for the label to apply some style, we have to use this page block section item and
based on it's not up only this CYLO your color red outward label must support
is it a page block section or
which
output
one?
level?
No,
This
no, no.
CSS.
No, it has a page level. It at a page level. 1 minute. Let me get you there. So label default color red. Okay. Label is the class name. Label. COLO U color red.
Only LOR, I think.
Huh?
ULOR.
Acha, COLO UR I am keeping.
That US LOR.
But दोनों same are. For HTML render, both are same. Let me show you one thing. In HTML render, if you can see, this is also label, right? You can see this one. This is also a label.
The class label
Tag
you are writing
in HTML in the output, all Apex input output label as rendering as label only. Okay.
So only that label. Then out
1 minute.
Output label is not
output label
unique
is not
here. It's not unique here. This is applying on all the labels, right?
Yes, exactly. The out render is always returning as a label only. So
you are overwriting a generic class, I think.
It's a label. I'm overriding the tag. I'm
Label
overriding the
tag,
tag.
the attribute which is used anywhere, that is coloring.
Exactly. So let's say this is lab. I can't use class. Okay. If I use size, 1 minute. Output label style I can use. Yeah, this is what you can provide inline CSS. You can't provide a class. You can provide as inline CSS. But if I do the same here, let's say
External file, external CSS.
that you can load, right? That always you can load from a static resources. Now let's say color CYLOR gray semicolon. What happened? The inner text is getting gray. You saw the difference?
Input field. It is applied on input field, right?
Yeah. So if you want to label, you have only one thing or label. But actually here we can do more customization. It always depends upon the style, the way of output you needed. You need to choose a tag. For a same functionality, you will be having a multiple tags. For a same functionality, you will be having multiple ways to do. But we need to choose an approach what it gonna support us.
Got it.
Okay. So I can write like this. I can also write like this, to be frank. Now we have this one, right? Let's say I'm just giving an example. Let's say output label I just kept. Instead of using this one, I can use input type equal to, in account we have email field, phone field we have phone, value, dot phone. Here I am using phone. It should be phone. You got it. This is also looks same only. You don't find any difference, right? From there to here. This and everything is looking same, right?
Yeah.
It always depends. You can use a direct output something like this, or you can write like this, or you can ways. You have a ways to do. Just okay. Now I'm just removing this. I don't need this functionality here. Apex input, Apex input field, value, phone, scc dot phone. Okay. scc.phone, and then I need to have a buttons. I need to have a buttons defined. Apex page block buttons, Apex command button, value, next, action, go next is my method. Saving, there is no method. It asked me to create a method called go next. It got created. Go next method, it got created. Go next. Now if I say go next, what I need to do, I need to navigate a new page, but actually I didn't define my new page. I need to define my new page. I need to define my new page. This is contact account creation, contacts create. This is my new page name. I'm creating one more page. It's a wizard that what we are discussing. So I created my new page. Here I will be referencing that new page reference of slash apex slash vf page. This is what I am returning here. I am returning a new page which is slash contacts creation. Okay, so let me see whether that is working or not. Duplicate. Now what I will do, I just click next. So it is going to the contact creation page, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now for a contact creation page, I have to use the same standard controller. Because I wanted to implement the same functionality, I should have a same controller defined at a contacts also. I need to define same contact controller. What I will do here, apex form apex page block button, page block apex page block section. Okay, let me go to this contacts. So all I need to have list of contacts. This variable I needed because I wanted to store my contacts. Account contact creation, I'll be having this variable ready. And then to add multiple contacts, anyway we discuss how to add a new contact and those stuff, right? How to add and how to delete row, right? Yes or no? We discussed this stuff, right? How to add a new contact. Line number 37. What is that? Incorrect signature at line number 37. Account contact wizard at line number 37, column 9. Where is this? Current page dot get parameters dot ie contact cy delete. Method does not exist. Value of con list of id. Con list of ocha. See. Now I had a next button. Let me put location equal to bottom. Save. So what I need to do, I need to refresh the page. Here I need to define my classes. Apex form apex page block apex page block section columns 1 title add contacts save. Control C, page block section. After page block, let me add comment buttons. Yes. Save. After this, fix page block buttons. Fix command link action value previous go back if it is a go back, then we need to reference a new page reference to account contact. The old page we need to reference. What is the old page name? Account create. Account create. Save. If I click previous, it need to go back to the old page. And if I get to next, then it need to come to this page, right? This is what expectation. If I add new row, attempt to dereference a null object. The reason behind why we are getting this error, because we didn't initialize it. We didn't initialize. We just declared this list of contact, but we didn't initialize. So we need to initialize, right? We need to initialize con equal to new list of contact. So now initialization is done. Add row. Add new. Okay, 1 minute. Fix command link. Add new row. Rendered. Okay. Let's say this one is not needed. Control Z. Control Z. ID equal to PBST.
What is that PBST, PDST?
ID, just a ID. ID of the, if I click this button, which element need to refresh? Only this element need to refresh, not the entire page. That's what it means.
Render is re-render and
Re-rendered means after clicking this action, which value need to be iterate? This value need to iterate.
that whole tag will
The whole tag will get refreshed with a fresh update from a Apex class. That's what it means.
render and re-render. I didn't get the difference again. Render meaning?
Okay, 1 minute. No, I'll come back there. Are you able to see this section now? Add contacts, right? I'm using rendered. False. What is this? Account contact wizard. SR. Where is this SR now coming up?
The variable at the end.
Now you will able to see this section page block section now. Page block section you are able to see. If the render is true, then the component will load. If the render is false, the component will not load.
It will not load anytime.
It will not create only. It shows that not to create.
Means not. It shows that not to create means.
Here component will not generate. I mean only this tag will not gonna create at a output. Entire tag will not create at output.
It is kind of commented.
It's kind of a commented, logically commented.
Okay.
Here you can pass expressions.
If I don't want that block that moment.
Yeah, you can make rendered equal to false dynamically.
Dynamically also?
Yes, you can pass from Apex variable, right? The way we pass it for a label, you can pass here expression and then display something and define the display here as a boolean.
Boolean.
That way you can
Oh,
also do.
okay, okay.
Re-rendered means after doing this action, after clicking this button, instead of refreshing entire page, do I need to refresh only this section? That's what PBST. Rendered will refer to
Uh,
the ID of the element.
okay. And yeah, got it. And this order can be anything, right? This value rendered, immediate, this attributes of the element.
It could be anything.
Okay.
It can be anything. You don't want to
You,
mention as it
yeah,
is.
usually re-render will be the last.
No, it could be anywhere. It could
Nay,
be anywhere.
not the position, the execution. I'm telling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you can see, right? If I click this button, instead of refreshing entire page, it is refreshing only this. If I don't have this, now you can see on click of this button, every page got refreshed. See, every time page is blinking, right? You are seeing that.
Yeah, meaning refresh kind.
Page itself is blinking. So now you can see
Oh.
entire page is going and coming, right?
Hmm.
But if I have a re-rendered, you will see you don't find any page refresh, nothing.
Only that the block is.
Exactly. It just refresh that block, not everything. Now I'm going to previous, but previous is giving error. The problem here is they're using, where is previous? Remove, where I used my previous command button here. Immediate true previous. Okay. Now we'll see. I'm just mentioning Deepak and some phone number 998673452. I'm going next. Fine. I'm just adding a row saying that test, test, and I'm going previous now. I'm going previous. Data exists. You are able to see the data, right? Hello.
Yeah. Can you do that again?
Account create, refresh, Deepak. I'm going next. Next page.
Okay.
Add row, test. I thought
That
that
is,
let me
but
check.
without save,
Without save only I'm moving. Now till now I didn't save it.
we don't have that button though.
We didn't save it. We have to,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just showing the existing. I just entered
Mm-hmm.
test and I'm going previous. I have a Deepak and everything. So whatever data I entered, it is already there, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I go here, here data is missing. Here data is missing. Why it is happening? Generally, my expectation, even if I go previous, this data is already there, but this data is not coming up.
Immediate equal true is set there.
No, here also immediate equal to true.
Ne- For next button.
Okay, you are saying that we had a immediate equal to true is defined. Okay, let's see. I just uncommented. Say previous company next add row test previous and then I'll go next. You have. Why immediate equal to true is causing an issue before then? Why immediate equal to true is causing an issue?
Immediate equals falsify if By default, it will be false, or what if I don't define immediate?
False. By default, it would be false. Previous, next, gone. Add new row, you got it. But add new row is also a immediate equal to true. Add new row is also immediate true. Add new row is also an immediate true, and this is also immediate. Okay, fine. We are using here command link. Here also we are using command link. But go back of previous is losing the data information. Is losing the data information. So we have another thing called page reference. Instead of writing this page equal to new page reference page dot set redirect false. Sorry, I'm saying redirect equal to false. What happened? Add new test. Here I'm not getting data. Why this is happening? The reason behind, whenever I enter the data, actually it will not perform anything until unless you have a on change event. Until unless you have a event called on change, so that it will update the data to a get and set values. Okay, I'm not making you confused. If you have immediate equal to true, what happens? The action will not gonna update anything to a visual force controller. So whenever you are doing switching from one state to one page to another page, if you have this one, what happens? You will lose your state of memory. You will lose your state of memory. So before switching anything, you need to perform your server action which will commit your data to a variable so that the data always exists. Next, if I have committed, yeah, yeah, and then if I commit back, if I go, I have my data available, right? You need to perform your action within the page. You need to perform within the page so that you can update your data. Clear? Hello.
Yeah, Deepak.
So what happened if I click here before it commits the data? What happening? It is just taking back to the another page reference, which is causing an data instability. I mean, data state is not maintained within the collection. It is losing. So we need to ensure that whatever actions you are doing, it should perform the actions completely, and then it need to redirect.
Where is that commit?
What commit?
You were telling, right? We have to commit the data before.
It's a logically we need to commit. If I have no immediate equal to true, it means that it actually checks. If I see add, if I click previous, it expects a commit record. It is trying to update a data. That's what you are entering. You must enter a value, right?
Mm-hmm.
This will ensure for you. This will ensure for you to enter data. Otherwise, it will not.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Clear? So